My name is Officer Rich Hartman. This is Officer Brandon Joseph. These are our dogs. This is Canine Luna. That's Canine Pax. Both of our dogs are Belgian Malinois. Similar to the German Shepherd breed, a little smaller, more bred for how they work instead of how they look. So there'll be some discrepancies. They won't look a lot alike like the Shepherds do. These dogs are bred for what they do often. This dog's 9, so she really likes to lay down and relax. That dog's 2, and he's already got his eye on that balloon over there. So at the police department right now we have 3 dogs. We have 2 that are in service and 1 that'll go in service next month. And we use the dogs primarily to search. These dogs are trained to search for people that make bad decisions, and for narcotics, and for evidence. Both dogs search for heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, ecstasy, and the once illegal drug called marijuana. They also search for people. That's their biggest tool that we use them for, is to look for people that have committed crimes, serious crimes, and are trying to get away from us. If we go to Costco, say at midnight, and somebody's broken into the building, generally it would take about 5 or 6 officers at least an hour to search that building. With the dogs, we can do it with 2 or 3 officers and a dog in about 20 minutes. So the dogs save us a lot of manpower and money, and that's the main reason we use them. It also keeps a safety barrier between us and those people that have made bad decisions. If somebody's in there and they are intent on hurting one of us, they have to deal with the dog first. And as much as we love our dogs, we would much rather that the dog take the brunt of that than an officer. Both of these dogs live at home with us. They're in our full-time care. We both have kids at home. The dogs are just like pets at home, hang out with family, play with the kids, do all that kind of stuff. And then when it's time to go to work, they can put on a different hat. You'll see that when we're going to do a little demo in a few minutes. And Officer Darren Brown over there, he's going to put on the fluffy suit and get bit for us. And you'll see that their personality changes a little bit. They get a little excited. One of the main things that we have to have with the dogs is obedience. We both have other dogs at home that aren't nearly as obedient as these dogs, to say the least. It's really important for us if we send the dog to search, or if we see somebody that the dog needs to apprehend, and we send the dog and that person's 100 yards out, and one of you nice people are 50 yards out, it's really important that we're able to call the dog back so that you guys don't get bit. These dogs both have really high drive. It's necessary for the police dogs when they're puppies. We look at their drive level, and a dog that doesn't have a lot of hunting drive, play drive, prey drive, a lot of the things that you would not want in your pet. And every time your dog's at home and the squirrel goes by or the kid on the skateboard goes by and your dog starts chasing that person, that's what we want. We just have to rein it in for our needs. A lot of people probably wouldn't choose that dog as a pet, and I understand why, because this is a lot of work, trying to keep these dogs with such high drive relaxed when we're not asking them to work. I'm going to have Officer Joseph, his dog's, like I said, is 2. He's been with him for about 3 months. I'm going to have him step out there in the sun and do some basic obedience. For our dogs, just so you know, we start off early. Thought I had a chuck. We start off early with something like this. It's made out of a canvas material. And when they're puppies, little guys, we start off just playing tug-of-war with them with this kind of material. And then we'll take that material and hide it behind a door or throw it out in the bushes and have the dogs search for it. So the dogs learn to look for this material. And then eventually we trade this out as the dogs get older and they're more secure and they're bigger and they can handle the interaction. We put the same material on a bite sleeve and it goes over the decoy's arm. And the dog's still looking for the same material, thinks it's the dog's toy. But all the while they're also looking for the scent of the person who's wearing the material. So we'll take this, put it on the bite sleeve, hide somebody in a house or building or out in the woods, whatever. Send the dog to search for him. The dog gets to find its toy, and now it's attached to a person. So we've kind of tricked the dog into engaging with the person, because none of these dogs are innately that brave where they're going to go out and choose to fight with a 200-pound man. It's just not. So then, like I said, we transfer that over to the bite sleeve. They're still playing with their toy. It's still fun for them. It's not personal, but now we've introduced the bad guy into it as well. When that's done, you'll see Officer Brown is going to be wearing the big suit. That covers the full body, and then we can send the dog to target a human being. Fortunately, he has the suit on because we don't get a lot of volunteers to take dogs from the bite with no suit. Makes a ton of sense. So then the dog's targeting a silhouette of what looks like a person, but he still has the material that they think is a toy, and the dog's having fun. Granted, the bad guy probably wouldn't be, but the dog is enjoying it. Whenever these dogs apprehend somebody on the street, it's odd, but they are wagging their tails, they're enjoying it, and I guess that's their job, they should enjoy it, right? It's, we teach these dogs to bite and hold. When they apprehend somebody, we teach them to stay on one place. An ideal bite wound for us would be 4 holes. We don't want chunks of people missing, we don't want any of that. We want them to bite and hold just so we can take them into custody and people don't have to go to the hospital. We don't get hurt. The person making bad decisions doesn't get hurt, the dog doesn't get hurt. However, we do put a lot of pressure on the dogs, and you'll see when Officer Brown's wearing the suit later. When we put the dog on the bike, we have the person fight with the dog, lift the dog up, roll on the dog, because obviously those are going to be things that happen a lot. The places that we send the dog to apprehend people are places where people hide. Crawl spaces, basements, attics, behind building materials, wherever somebody would hide to get away from us is where we send the dog. They're a lot smaller and more agile than us, so that works out well. When we send the dog on an apprehension, that guy changes his mind, becomes logical. We're able to stop the dog. Like I said, you can tell that the dog has changed the behavior quite a bit when that guy comes out. So this is the most difficult thing that we do with the dogs, is do a call off. So he's going to send the dog on a bite and call him off. No. So his reward for coming back, since that guy's still in the play suit, is a bite. So like I said, he really enjoys it. That's a 2-year-old dog. He took one to the road. I don't know if you saw the little bite on the back. That's just because he likes it. If we sit him on the bite, you'll see how much the dog enjoys the work. Can you go do a hard out? So he's going to come up, and the new dogs display a little bit of a handler avoidance, which is completely natural. That's kind of what we look for in the dogs. So as he's biting, Brandon's going to go up and take him off the bite, and you'll see the dog move away from Brandon because he knows Brandon's coming to take the fun away. Just starting to move off. This is generally, if we have to deal with somebody in the street, this is generally how we take the dog off the bite. Tell him to stop, but we're going to send the dog. So he'll give him a warning, and then he's going to send the dog on a straight bite. Just an apprehension.
That sucks.
So as you can see, he's thoroughly enjoying what he does. A lot of times we cannot get to where the dog is if they're in an attic crawl space, so it's important that we're able to verbal the dog out. Sometimes we use the dog as a deterrent and we do what's called a target mark. That's all. So she'll stay there until he decides to make a bad decision. By the dog. Here. We'll do a call with her. Do a call off with her. Then I'm going to send her on the bike and walk him back. I got to stop her with the dog. Good morning.
Hey.
Luna, off!
Wait.
Off!
Wait, hold on, you have to look at this.
Here.
The dog's gonna get the guy. Sorry. Hey, look. Look at though.
Then I can use the dog to bring him back.